So yeah, I want to talk about today about a topic that I have spoken about previously, but today I'm going to dedicate a video to it, an entire video, and that is expatriating. Okay. In other words, expatriating from the West. Okay. Now, this is going to be interactive, by the way. I want to know what you guys think if anybody comes in. Which, at this time, some people probably will come in, but depending on how long I go for. But, I've critiqued expatriating before. I've critiqued it because those guys are going over there to have intercourse. That's why I've critiqued it. In itself, is not a bad thing. In itself, it's not a bad thing. But what you got to realize is that when it comes down to leaving the Western society, you can't just go over there and, for the purpose of intercourse, because this stuff can become an addiction. And because it's easier to get women over there, some men go crazy. Some men go crazy when they go over there. I mean, I was watching this one YouTuber. He was from Britain and he went over to Asia, Indonesia, and places like that, and he admitted that he became addicted to intercourse, and it ruined his life. He admitted that, and he had real regrets. And this is a guy who was in the Philippines. He had to get, I think he said his uncle. He had to get his uncle to pay the return flight back. Look at that fox. Fox just ran. Anyway, you can't see it anyway. But he had to get his uncle to pay a return flight back. That's how broke he is. And this guy was talking about how, he was doing well before. But he went over to Asia, got addicted to intercourse, and it destroyed him. So that's why you shouldn't be going over there to have intercourse, and you shouldn't be going over there just for the purpose of banging women. It's not a good idea at all. It can destroy you. It's addictive, and that's not a goal in life. I always say a man should have goals. Okay. Going over there just to smash women, that's not a goal in life. So I just want to get that out of the way first of all, that I'm not encouraging that. I'm not encouraging that at all. But back to the topic of should men leave the West. Well, let's first talk about the Western society, okay? Let's first talk about the Western society. You got to think about it. Okay? Most of you guys are losers in the society, and I put myself in that category. We all are. We're not really doing well in this society. We're not. We're not doing well. We're not getting the result that we want. We're not living the life we want to live. We have to admit to that. That's the first step of admitting that, you're not doing well. A lot of our parents thought that they were doing all right for themselves. They like to give themselves a little pat on the back. But it doesn't change the fact that you're not really enjoying life, are you? You're working for somebody else, you're making somebody else richer. And, in the old days, that was fine. I mean, in the old days, you could get a job for life. You would get a good pension. You would get a wife. You would get kids, and you could afford all of that. You could afford, you got a decent job, because you wouldn't have to go through spells of unemployment like most people do today. You wouldn't have to take a job that's below your means just to get by like most people do today. So in the old days, the Western society wasn't that tough. But now, it is a lot tougher. It is. And because it's getting tougher now, it's like the saying says, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And a lot of you guys, you ain't tough. Now, look, if you follow what I'm saying on this channel, okay, you will be able to compete in the society. But most of you guys ain't doing it. Most of you guys will come on here and just dislike the video, or you'll listen to 10 minutes and say, oh yeah, yeah, and just, you know, let me tell you something. Your life ain't gonna improve, man. You know, I want to be more optimistic in this video, though. As a single man, you got options, bro. Like, I'm gonna assume that all of you guys are single with no kids. You got options, man. You got options. I don't understand why being a single guy with no kids is a bad thing. You think if you got a wife and kids, you know, you're gonna be worried out of your mind. We're heading to the biggest depression in human history, and you think having a wife and kids is a luxury? What kind of planet are you living on, guys? It's not a luxury at all. You know, at all, man. It's not a luxury. I don't want to be a guy with a wife and kids right now. I don't. I don't want to be a guy with a wife and kids right now, because that's a lot of worry, man. That's a lot of stress. Think about it. You're heading into a depression, and you got a wife and kids to look after. No, I don't want that. Now, if you're in Asia, well, you don't have to worry, because the cost of living is so low. Even if you become less wealthy, you can still get by. You don't have to go to the food bank. You know, how embarrassing must that be? You've got wife and kids, and you're taking them to the food bank to get dinner. I mean, you know, but that's going to be a lot of you guys' reality. You ain't going to get a wife and kids. You ain't going to get one, because you won't even reach the level to even get one. And that's where the expatriation option comes in. The expatriation option comes in because, especially for you guys who want a wife and kids, you ain't going to get one in this society. Every year the economic standards are going up. All you have to look at is the cost of marriage. Go and Google cost of weddings over the years. You're going to find out that it's more expensive now than it's been before to get married. So a lot of you guys ain't going to get it, man. You know? And you think that that's me being negative. No, that's not me being negative, really. Because I'm not really negative. I'm honest. You know, a lot of you guys are delusional. I don't want to mention names. You know, I don't want to mention names here. But, you know, the likes of the Messiah, you know, BM, okay, him. He's delusional. He's delusional because he thinks at 34, 35 years old, he can just start competing, just like that. No. The world doesn't work like that, guys. You can't just at 34, 35 years old flip the switch on and think, yeah, I'm just going to start competing. It doesn't work like that. You ain't gonna just start competing. It's tough. Life is tough as hell. You know? And this Western society is the most competitive society. Maybe not. It might be China. It might be China. I could be wrong. It might be China or Japan. Probably not Japan. It might be China. China might be the most competitive. But overall, you know, it's a very competitive society we're in right now, man. And you got to be built to compete. And you know, if you follow what I'm saying on this channel, you're going to be in a position where you can compete. But, you know, it's not simple. I mean, so, you know, when I say a lot of you guys ain't going to make it, okay, what is making it in this society? Because some of you guys may not understand that. I mean, it's pretty obvious what it is to make it. I mean, it's not hard to understand what it is to make it in this society, but to make it in the society pretty much means that you become rich. You know, the Western society is all about making money. I mean, if you ask any of the immigrants who come to live in the Western countries. Just go and talk to them. Ask them, so why do you come here? And when I say Western countries, I'm not talking about I'm talking about only the top developed, America, Canada, and Western Europe. I'm not talking about all the European. No, they're not. I don't consider those Western countries. I don't care what you guys think. I only consider the top to be, because those societies are very different. You can't compare, those countries. But yeah. So like I was saying, man, you ask them, they'll tell you they're here for the money. If they're honest. They'll tell you, yeah, I came here because because they can make more money. That's what this society is built on. It's built on making money, man. If you ain't making money, you ain't making it in this society. You might think that you are, but you're delusional. It's all about making money, and if you're not making money, then I'm sorry, but you're a loser in this society. That's how it works. You might just try to feel good about yourself and say, oh, I'm not a loser, but if you're not making money in the Western society, you're considered a loser. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. I'm not saying it. I'm not judging people, but that's how society is going to judge you. Because the reason why this thing is set up for making money. People go to these places to make money. So, I mean, at the end of the day, right, my thing is this. If you want to make the money, by all means, remain here. Or you don't have to, because I'm going to make the money and I'm still not going to remain here. But, by all means, stay here. You can have a very good life. Rich people ain't complaining. We talk about feminism, we talk about SJW, we talk about all this stuff. But rich people ain't complaining, though. It's only poor people that are complaining. Because money does change the game. Regardless of what you might think. I go by what we can see, and what we can see is rich people ain't complaining. Everybody who's complaining is poor. Socialism exists, and it's coming up now because the cost of living is going up, and they can't compete. So they go into these fringe groups. The people who hate me are the people who can't compete. The people who dislike my videos are the people who can't compete, and there's alternatives. Like I've said in the previous one, a single man has options. A single man with no kids has options. But are you taking advantage of those? It's not like you guys got a wife and kids. I mean, some of you guys are fat slobs. You stay in the same city. You never left your home city. Why? It's not like you got a wife and kids. It's not like you got a good job. You guys ain't got shit. So why are you forcing yourself to be miserable instead of exploring what your options? I don't understand this. Because you've been brainwashed into believing that you can't do that. You can. Nobody's stopping you. Nobody's stopping you. I mean, life in the Western society is tough, man. It's really tough, because what you got to pretty much do, you got to pretty much you got to suffer to enjoy anything. You can say any society is like that. Well, any society is like that, yeah, it is kind of, because the thing is, when you go to a foreign country, you're using your leverage as coming from a developed country to be able to live over there. You're using that leverage. That's the thing. You have the leverage because you came from a Western country first. If you were born there and raised there, but even still, those people don't really have a competitive, their countries ain't really competitive like that. A lot of those people, they don't work weekends, bro. Like it's common to work weekends from a teenager in this country. A lot of them people don't even work weekends. They only work Monday to Friday in a lot of these countries, bro. Like, they don't really have a working culture, which is where we come in and we destroy them. When I say destroy them, we just dominate them and we make the money. I mean, that's what people do. I mean, because at the end of the day, man, this world, I mean, it's all about exploitation at the end of the day. We're all being exploited, man. Look at how we're being exploited in this society. We pay high taxes. What are you paying taxes for? They can take off your income at any time. The whole thing with taxes is supposed to be a prevention, like a form of protection. But yet they didn't, and we're supposed to be living in a democracy, right? So why couldn't we vote for a lockdown? Think about it. Why couldn't we vote for a lockdown? It's supposed to be democratic, but this is a scam. There is no democratic, because all the main issues they decided for us. The war in Iraq, they decided it for us. The lockdown, they decide everything for us, but they tell us we're living in a democracy. It's a scam. It's a scam, and that's the thing. So, I don't mind democracy if you're actually voting on major issues. But if you're not voting on major issues, then they can just lie to you and do anything what they want. So you're paying high taxes for what? For what? You're paying taxes. Most of you guys ain't getting nothing out of this society anyway. You're just getting by. But why not thrive in other countries? I can thrive. My biggest mistake was not leaving this country in 2018, 2019. That was a big mistake. Because I'm suffering, man. I'm suffering just so that I can live the lavish lifestyle. I'm suffering, man. I'll be working. I'll fall asleep in my chair, bro. A lot of you guys haven't had to fall asleep in your chair before. Like, when you're working hard, bro, you fall asleep on your desk. A lot of you guys ain't done that before. And this is interactive, guys. You can ask questions about this. This is interactive. If you want to ask questions, you can ask questions. But yeah, I mean, that's the reality. Women don't have to really do much in this. And that's another thing. The sexism in the society is a lot. I mean, women don't really have to do anything. I mean, like, a woman can, like, start up a sports. There's this one chick that she don't even know nothing about sports, but she looks good, right? She's got like this channel talking about sports, and you got guys that have been watching this sport since they were a kid, and they know everything about the sport, and they can't even get no views, and this chick is getting loads of views just for talking bullshit. She don't even, she's reading from a script because she's pretty. I mean, this sexism in this society is too much. I mean, it's too much, man. How much more are you gonna take? I mean, some of you guys are gonna end up like George Sedini, bro. I'm telling you, if you don't leave this society, I mean, if George Sedini went to Thailand, he could at least pay for a bitch. I mean, he could at least, like, that's the thing. I mean, expatriation, I mean, I'm not saying go over there. I already mentioned don't go over there just for intercourse, but at the same time, you gotta be smart with it. I mean, you look at a guy like George Sedini. I mean, that guy had a good paying job. Yeah, he was autistic, but he couldn't even get an autistic girl. I mean, he couldn't get nothing, bro. The guy couldn't get laid for 25 years. I mean, it's crazy. No, he couldn't get laid for 20 years. He couldn't get laid for 20 years, and he couldn't get a girlfriend for 25 years, bro. So, this society, man, there's a lot of sexism, and it's expensive, man. It's expensive. I mean, you got to follow the Grant Cardone philosophy. You got to basically live off 20% of your income. Taxes, you're paying 40%, and then 40% you got to save and invest. That's what you pretty much got to do. And I agree with that philosophy. But you can do that in Asia, like Thailand, right? Living off 20% of my income in Asia would lend me a decent lifestyle. Here, you don't got no lifestyle because it's too expensive. That's the thing. Society where I can actually, live good, then I have to suffer. I mean, a lot of you guys ain't never gonna become millionaires, bro. Like, let's keep it real. Like, a lot of you guys ain't never gonna get nowhere. Because, I mean, some of you guys are just, you don't have it in you, bro. You don't have that hunger, that drive. This society is for people who, I mean, a lot of people make it early in life as well. Like, there's some people that don't have to suffer in the society. They make it. If you make it in your 20s, early 20s, you pretty much don't even know anything. I mean, you don't know what suffering is. I don't really respect anybody who complains, if they made it in. All these sports stars and all these people, they complain about, I had to suffer. You didn't suffer shit, bro. Get the hell out of here, bro. You didn't suffer shit, because even me, in my early 20s, I wasn't really suffering. I was suffering a little bit, but not really. You don't suffer until you really have suffered in many years, bro. Like, a lot of these celebrities, you got all these people coming out, the movement of BLM. I don't want to talk about that garbage. It's psyop anyway. But they say, oh, I've suffered. Bullshit, you ain't suffered. You know, some people who got famous at 19 or 20 years old saying they suffered. They ain't suffered nothing, bro. You know, they ain't suffered nothing. They just saying that, bro. Because they don't know what suffering is, bro. And somebody could tell me, Unreal, you don't know what suffering is. And I'll say, you know what, you're right. Because I ain't really suffered as much as some other people have. But, you know, it's like, you know, I just think, like, what would my life have been had I left the West in 2018? You know, I could have done that. I could have left in 2018. What my life could have been like had I made the decision to leave in 2018. That's the question that I'm thinking about that. Like, if I had left in 2018, how good would it have been? Because at the end of the day, you know, you got one life, bro. You got to live it, man. That's the thing. You know, in 2018-19, that was an opportunity. You know, a lot of you guys, you're getting older. We're all getting older, but a lot of you guys are pushing your 30s now. You got to start to make the decisions now that are going to shape the rest of your life. Are you willing to suffer here so that you can benefit? Because some of you guys are going to suffer for nothing. You know, some of you guys ain't never going to benefit, because you got to look at it like this, right? In this society, it's difficult to compete, right? And only a small proportion of people, you know, only like, I forgot this, I think it's 4% of people are going to go from the working class to the upper middle class, bro, or higher. Only 4%. Are you in that 4%? I know that I am. You know, I could be in that 4%, but I don't know for you guys. I mean, likelihood on this channel, only a few of you gonna make it. You know, and most of you guys ain't gonna make it. So if you know you ain't gonna make it, or you know, and if you know, you guys are the best judge of yourself. I can't judge you guys like that and say you ain't gonna make it or you are. I can judge some of you guys. You know, all the guys I spoke on this channel, they ain't gonna make it. None of them. Because their age is a major reason why they won't make it. You know, age is a major factor. Another factor is, you know, their character. You know, they lack drive, they lack ambition. They lack work ethic. Their raw intelligence isn't that high. So, you know, they're not, how do you say, they're not working with a lot. They're not working with much, man. We're going to be brutally honest here. A lot of guys ain't working with really nothing. But that's the thing. I mean, I look at it for myself and I say, like, you know, for me personally, reason being, I don't really need to leave the West, because the thing is with me is that I know for a fact. Why do people keep coming in and coming out? I don't understand these people. Are they trolls or something? Anyways, man, like the video, man. I've probably got dislikes on here already, but yeah, so I know for me, right, that I'm gonna still benefit regardless of whether I stay or leave, because I can compete in this society. I'm already making money, more money throughout this pandemic. Let me tell you something, right? If you're on furlough right now, consider it you lost your job. I'm just being brutally honest here. If you're on furlough right now, consider it that you're unemployed. Consider it that you're unemployed. You have to think like that. You have to take that and say, you know what? I'm on furlough right now. Likelihood is I'm not going to get a job. I'm not going to get another job. I'm toast. I'm done for. That's a likelihood. I know a lot of you guys don't want to admit that, because it's not all that nice. It's not all that pleasant to admit that, you know, your chances, your American dream, let's put it like that. A lot of you guys are American. Most people on YouTube are Americans. Your American dream is dead. I'm sorry, but it's dead. if you ain't made it by 35, I think you're done, man. There's only so many Colonel Sanders. There's only so many, what do you call it? Ray Krocs. And that was decades ago, you know. I mean, most of the people nowadays that make it, they're making it at a young age, bro. You know. What makes you think that you're going to make it in this society? I would love to know. What makes you guys think? You know. But you guys ain't here right now, but I know some of you guys are going to watch the replay. Tell me what makes you think that you're going to make it in this society? Because there has to be a reason for everything. You know? I can tell you why I can make it, but I don't want to make it. Have I mentioned why I don't want to? Let me say why I don't want to. Because it's just going to take me longer to enjoy my money. That's pretty much the reason why. I can enjoy my money right now. If I'm in an Asian country like Thailand or Vietnam, the cost of living is so low. Your money is multiplied 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times over there. So if you're coming up over there with a 50K a year salary, right? There's one guy who was making about 4 or 5K a month. Making about 4 or 5K a month. He was working in he was doing an online business, right? He had a great lifestyle. You know? He had a great lifestyle. He was a YouTuber. A great lifestyle for just 4 or 5K a month. I mean, you know, he wasn't spending all of it either. And that's the thing, I mean, why should you suffer? Why? That's the question I want to ask you guys. Why should you suffer just to be able to live in a Western society? What is so special about it? You know? What's so special about it that I should be in my room, you know, locked up, eating ramen noodles? I don't do that anyway, but let's just say I am. You know, what's so special about it that, you know, I have to restrict my life so much in order to live in a Western society? Because, you know, I think some people need a reality check. And they need to ask themselves, you know, what's so special? What is so... You know, I just feel like, overall, I just feel like the quality of life is better. Let me tell you my reasonings anyway, you know, why I feel like just leaving the West right now. You know, okay, first of all, we're heading to the winter months. It's getting colder, you know. I personally don't like it. And I know a lot of people don't like it. Now, it depends where you live in the West, because if you're living in Florida, that doesn't apply to you. USA is a bit different. But this whole country is a cold country. Doesn't matter where you live, you're going to have to brave the cold winters. And, you know, the cold winters are unpleasant, to be perfectly and brutally honest with you. The cold winters are quite unpleasant, you know, and you get a lot of colds, you get a lot of sickness. You know, I don't know what's out there in other countries, you know, but I feel like just a more tropical climate. You know, yeah, they got monsoons and certain stuff, and that's another problem, you know, monsoons and typhoons and all this, you know, stuff. But, you know, the USA got hurricanes as well. I mean, you know, they got some tsunamis over there. Those are uncommon, but yeah, it is dangerous. There's no doubt about that. But a lot of people die in those countries because they're poor. You know, you're not poor, so you're probably not going to die, even if it happens. You know, you're going to be living in the wealthy areas. if you want to, or at least upper middle class areas. You're not going to be living in some bum areas, with some bums, with some losers, bro. Some of you guys are living in the crack dens, bro. Like, that guy Blue Sky Media, he's living in the crack dens, man. I mean, you guys are living like crap, bro. Like, you guys are not enjoying life. I mean, you guys are constantly whining and complaining about life. I just think, I said this before, but certain people, they just can't compete in this society. Some of you guys have to go. Some of you guys have to go with urgency, and you really have to start thinking about expatriating, because at the end of the day, right, why do you expatriate? Well, here's the thing, right? I'm going to list my other reasons why I want to expatriate. Well, I think I've already said them anyway, but, why you should expatriate. Some of you guys, okay, you got a job right now, or you're on furlough right now. Like I said before, you're going to consider that job as you lost your job. You're going to consider that like you lost your job, because furlough means you're not going to have a job to go back to. Okay, so that's one reason, okay? But here's the thing. When you don't have a job to go back to, and you're in an economic depression, which more than likely is going to last 3 to 5 years, okay? 3 to 5 years we're going to be like this, guys. So it's more likely going to last 3 to 5 years, which isn't that bad when you think about it. I mean, we were in school for how many years? If we could brave that, then we can brave this depression. But the thing is, it's going to last 3 to 5 years, and when you think about it, you're not going to be able to get a job. You're not going to be able to compete in the skill-based economy that's coming. I mean, a lot of you guys, you're working blue collar, you're working low-end jobs. You're not going to get no jobs. You're going to be on UBI. And when you're on UBI, it's going to be the barest minimum living, and you're probably more than likely not going to be able to leave the country. And even if you can, you're never going to be able to afford it. You're never going to be able to afford it, because the reality of the situation is you're living on the bare bones. You're going to be living on the bare bones. And for some of you guys, if your income has gone down during this pandemic, that's a bad omen for you. I would say just get out. The soonest you can get out, just get out of Western society. If your income's gone down throughout the pandemic, because it's not going to get better. This is just the beginning of the financial depression, guys. It hasn't even hit. I mean, some countries are not even in recession yet. I don't even think the USA is in recession yet. If the USA is not in recession yet, and they're already losing this many jobs, think about how many they're going to lose when when you're in the thick of it, man. This is 3 to 5 years it's going to last. And I'm not saying that it's not going to affect the world, but you're far better placed to be in a country that the cost of living is a lot lower than being in a country that the cost of living is high. Anybody can make a little bit of money online. Anybody can make, even if you're making 1,000 online, 1,500 a month online, you can still get by. You can still get by in Asia, of 1,000 a month. Yeah, you're not going to be living nothing good, but you can still get by, though. You can still get by. The thing is, this society, people ain't going to get by, and that's how they're going to be able to push universal basic income. Because people are going to be forced, because they're going to need it. They're going to need to have it. That's how they're going to be able to push it. They can push it because people are going to have to be forced to get it. That's the thing. So, you got to really start to consider these certain things, because if you don't consider these certain things, right, if you don't consider the fact that, you're going to need to make a lot of money to really have a good life in the society, if you don't believe that you can do it, right? If you don't believe that you can do it, because you're going to have to first of all believe that you can do it, and even if you believe you can do it, that doesn't guarantee you can do it. But if you, in your heart of hearts, really don't believe that you can make a lot of money in this Western society, then you've got to start thinking about expatriating. Let me tell you what you can do for now. Okay, I don't know if this option is going to last that long, to be honest with you. I don't know if this option is going to last that long. But what you can do for now, right, get some money together, okay? Get some money together. Don't waste money on the upcoming PlayStation 5 or the new Xbox. Don't waste your money on that garbage. You know, get some money together, right? And, you know, make sure you got a few thousand so that you can come back. If things go sour, you can come back and you can live out there. And get your TEFL. You know, teaching English as a foreign language. Get your TEFL. If you're from England, or sorry, UK, Ireland, USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. If you're from those countries, you can easily go out there and get a job, you know, to teach English. That can get you started. Or if you want to go the online business way, you can start that as well, you know. Right? But even something like dropshipping, you can go out and do it, man. And, you know, you don't need a lot to live out there. That's the thing. You don't need a lot, man. You really don't need a lot to live out there. And, you know, you can feel some sense of, you know, I'm doing all right for myself, you know. Because it does give you a sense of pride when you're doing better than the people around you. You know, in this society, you have to be humiliated, in a sense. You know, you are kind of being humiliated when you see other people doing better than you. I mean, it's not a good feeling, let's be real here, you know. But yeah, there's two options you can do. There's a teaching English option, and there's an online business option. I will always choose the online business option because you have the potential to make a lot more money. But if you guys just want a basic life, go out there and do English teacher, bro. You know, you might as well. I mean, you ain't got nothing to lose. That's the thing. It's a no-lose situation where you really ain't got nothing to lose. I mean, what have you got to lose? If you go out there and it doesn't work for you, it's not like you lost anything. You know, a lot of you guys, you know, you're too scared of change. You know, that's part of the issue with a lot of you guys. You're scared of change. You don't want to change. You don't want to make changes in your life. But again, you got to think about, what do you want in life? Do you want just to be 100% MGTOW? You know, because if you want to be 100% MGTOW, then, you know, you can stay in the West, make 100, 120, 150,000. You're okay. You know, you're okay if you want to be 100% MGTOW. You know, some of you guys, you don't ever want to have kids. You don't ever want to, you know, get married. So for you, it's not really a bad option to stay put. You know, it's not really a bad option, because at the end of the day, your benefits going over there, you know, it's going to be basically just lower cost of living. But if you can live it up good because you don't have kids, you don't have a wife over here, then there's not really much point moving, is there? You know, there's not really much point moving if you can live it up here, because you have no interest in women. You know, you don't want to date, you don't want to marry, you don't want to have any kids. There's no real benefit to, well, there are still benefits, but the benefit going over there is less. But if you want to have kids, you want to get married, I'm telling you guys, not only is it a risk here in the West, but you're not even going to be able to afford it. If we're being real here, most of you guys will never be able to afford a wife, you know, going forward. I mean, now the depression could change everything if you're still making money throughout the economic depression, which a lot of you guys won't be. A lot of you guys won't be making any money throughout this economic depression, because, you know, you don't have any other means of income other than your job, which is going to go out of the world altogether or be automated anyway. So, you know, you're in trouble. You are in trouble, man. And that's the thing. So this is like, I see this as more like a safeguard, you know. You're safeguarding yourself from ending up You know, like David Icke puts it, the Hunger Games society. At the bottom of the Hunger Games society, you're really safeguarding yourself. You're going somewhere where the competition is lower, where the cost of living is lower, you know, and you can simultaneously have a working life and a dating life without sacrificing so much. In this society, Western society, you gotta, as a guy, you gotta pretty much sacrifice your working life or sacrifice your dating life. You know, that's one thing I don't, you know, is not really spoken about, but that's truth. But in the Western society, you know, because women don't really work, it's the men that do all the work. I mean, you know, I know some people don't like to hear that, but that's true. I mean, women don't really do any work. It's the men that do all the work in society. And because of that, I mean, men have to really sacrifice either their working, and most men sacrifice their working life. And that's why everybody's effing poor, to quote Dan Pena. Because you're sacrificing your working life in order to get women. You know? And that woman's going to divorce you anyway. So there's really no point. You know, it's pointless. That's why men are going MGTOW. Because it's pointless, because you're making so much sacrifice, she's not making any, and you end up with nothing anyway. You end up on child support. You know? And when you're on child support, you can't do this. It's a big risk. If you ain't got money, you're in trouble. If you got money, yeah, you can get divorced, but you still got something left over. But it's a big risk, obviously, you know. I mean, it's a big risk financially, but you're not gonna be homeless. That's the thing. But I mean, it's, you know, some guys have ended up homeless over this. You know, it's tough. Anyway, this is an interactive live stream, man. You can leave comments or whatever. You know, ask questions about this. I want to know what you guys think, man. Am I off the mark? I don't know, man. I just feel like, you know, I feel like this Western society, man, is a sinking ship, bro. It's like, you know, let me give you guys an analogy. Some of you guys may get it, some of you guys won't get it. But let's talk about football, right? Let's talk about Messi, okay? Messi, the football player, right? He's leaving his team now because it's a sinking ship, man. Yeah, it was once great, but it's a sinking ship. He's getting older. He said, you know what? This team sucks, man. I'm out of here. You know, and it's like, why stay on a sinking ship? If you know the ship is sinking, go on another ship, bro. Like, why are you staying? Like, I'm not going down with this society. To hell with it, bro. I'm not going down with this. You know, I'm not going down with this, bro. Like, you know, this thing is going down, bro. Especially the USA is even worse. But I mean, I refuse to go down with it. I flat out refuse to go down with it. I'm not going down with it. I'm jumping ship. I'm jumping ship, man. I'm going over to Asia because at the end of the day, you know, I ain't got nothing to lose anyway. Sorry. I ain't got nothing to lose anyway. What have I got to lose? Nothing. You know? If it don't work out, I just go somewhere else. But at the end of the day, it's more beneficial for you to at least try. You know? We are single men here. This is a single man channel. This ain't a channel for, you know, simpy guys with girlfriends. Oh yeah, man, I have to stay here because my girlfriend. Oh, F your girlfriend, man. That bitch is gonna leave you anyway. And that's the truth. I mean, you know, you're gonna be left with nothing. You know, there's no way I'm gonna sacrifice my working life to get women. No chance. No chance am I gonna sacrifice my working life, bro. You know, but see, the thing is, in Asia, you don't have to do that, though. You know, you don't have to do that because you got so much money as compared to their currency. That's the thing. It's not just Asia, it's other countries as well. Eastern Europe, you know, which doesn't appeal to me because of the weather. You know, I'm not interested in going to some cold place. I mean, I don't want. I want hot climate. You know, for me personally, you know, that's why Asia fits the bill for me. Latin America is too violent, too much violence. Some people go to Latin America, but look at the violence over there, man. I don't want to live in some violent society. You know, I don't want to live so. For me, Asia's the only place that really fits the bill for me. You know. Why am I getting errors? What the hell is this? Anyway, Asia's the only place that really fits the bill for me, bro. You know. Asia's the only place that really fits the bill for me. So, for me personally, you know, I do want to go to Asia. I do want to enjoy life in Asia. And I do think that Asia's the right place to be. I really do. You know. I think that Asia is the right place to be. I think, if you go over to Asia, you're going to have a better quality of life as well. You know, I think that I recommend, some of you guys may say, Unreal, you ain't been there. And I'll say, you know what, you're absolutely right, I ain't been there. I ain't been there and I need to go there. And when I go there, if I still got this channel, I'm gonna tell you guys about it. Because most guys who go to those countries, they're sexpats anyway. So you can't really take these guys seriously. I mean, these guys are losers. I want to show you, because most of these guys who go to Asia, they're living in hostels, they're living in like bums. I mean, that doesn't appeal to me. I'm not going to, why would I go to another country to live like a bum? I'm going to another country to live it up. I'll tell you what I want when I go over there. I want servants. Yeah, I said it, servants. I want servants, like they have them, like Asians are, they make good servants. I mean, they have them in they call them maids, I think, but I want that. I don't want to do, I want to live in luxury, bro. Like I said before, it's all about exploitation, bro. You exploit other people for your own benefit. Now you're paying them, but yeah, they're gonna do what you want, Oh yeah, get me a freshly squeezed orange juice, get me this, get me that. You're gonna live like a king, bro. You're gonna live like a king out there, bro. Let these other people live like peasants. And you can afford to do that because, like I said, whatever it is over there, you're going to be paying a fifth of the price. You're going to be paying a sixth of the price, a seventh of the price, an eighth of the price. It's a lot cheaper to live out there. And because it's a lot cheaper to live out there, you can live a lot better for the same price. That's the thing. And that's why it's so beneficial for me and for other guys to migrate and go over there. It's so beneficial. I know a lot of you guys may not believe that is that great, but I'm telling you, and yeah, I ain't been there. But I'm telling you, bro, it's better. I see the writings on the wall for this society, man. I see it, and I see it that, it's just too much. I mean, it's getting so expensive. I mean, it's getting tougher. We got more distractions on our hands, and how long are you gonna? Because let's be honest, the reason why most people aren't successful, let me tell you why, is because they give up. I think you got a better chance of being successful over in another country because you don't have to work. Like you don't have to work so hard without no reward. Like for me personally, I've been doing this 800-hour week thing. I haven't got any reward from it. Yeah, I'm making more money, but the money I'm making, because it's so expensive in this society, it doesn't really reward me anything yet. I got to do it more, longer time. I got to do it for more time. And I'm not going to say that much more in this video, but I'm going to have to work for more time in order to get the reward. And I think that most people, that's why people give up, because you need to make so much money to really reward and treat yourself and get the benefits. I mean, you're going to have to make so much, and the cost of living is high. That's why that most people give up. I think you've got a better chance of making it out there. I really think if you go out there, okay, and try to make it, you've got a better chance. I know that I've got what it takes to make it in this society, but why should I? If I can go out there and live lavish as soon as possible, okay, if I can go out there and live lavish as soon as possible, why would I just, I'm going to have to suffer more years here. I might be 1 year, it might be 2 years, it might be 3 years, but I'm going to have to suffer more. What Asian countries you would recommend moving to? Okay, let me just tell you, I ain't been to Asia, okay? So I'm not the best guy to ask. But let me just tell you, okay, it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for cheap, Cambodia, Vietnam. But let me tell you something. In Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, I don't know about Vietnam, you're not going to be able to learn the language. It's too hard. Like the way they talk in Cambodia, just listen to how they talk. You ain't going to be able to learn it. If you want to learn the language, you can go to Indonesia, Malaysia. The language is easy to learn, from what I heard. The languages are easy to learn. I heard it's actually the easiest in the world. I don't know if that's true, but from what I heard, it's easy. So if you want to speak the language, or if you don't, it depends on what you want, you know. But there's a lot of countries. There's Cambodia, there's Vietnam, there's Philippines. Philippines is, you know, they speak more English there. But I mean, you know, there's Malaysia, there's Indonesia, there's you know, Vietnam. There's a lot of countries out there, bro. And that's the thing. I mean, you know, you ain't losing nothing by going out there. I mean, what am I losing? If I go out there and it sucks, I just come back like Venture MGTOW. I mean, well, Venture MGTOW's an idiot. I mean, he didn't even give it a chance. That guy got some mental problems at Venture MGTOW. That's why he's MGTOW. I mean, Venture MGTOW, I don't want to bash him, but he's MGTOW because he couldn't get women when he was younger. I mean, that's the reason why, and he admitted that. I'm not bashing him. That's the truth. He admitted that. I mean, some of these guys, you know, they're not really MGTOW for the right reasons, but, you know, it is what it is, man, at the end of the day. But yeah, man, I mean, I want to talk a bit about the anti-lockdown protests. And what do you guys think? So, you know, there's been an anti-lockdown protest in Europe. There was in UK, Trafalgar Square, London, and Berlin, Germany. Special guests include David Icke in UK, and Germany they had a Robert Kennedy Jr. He's related to JFK. I think is his name Robert Kennedy? He's like the nephew of JFK. I think he's definitely related to JFK. So he knows a lot about medicine and stuff like that. So, you know, I was thinking like, you know, these are good. Like, this got good turnout. Like, thousands of people, like tens of thousands of people are coming out to do. Apparently in Germany you had 200,000 people. I don't know if that's true. That's probably not true. But apparently in Germany you had a turnout of about 200,000 people to these anti-lockdown protests. But that's the thing, these anti-lockdown protests, I mean, they're big, man, and they're, you know, a lot of people are going to these anti-lockdown protests. And I'm thinking like, is it gonna actually make a difference? Like, you know, the guy who set up the anti-lockdown protests in the UK, his name is Piers Corbyn. Okay, Piers Corbyn. He apparently has been fined 10,000. They've given him a 10,000 fine for doing that. But nobody got fined for BLM though. Nobody got fined for BLM protests, did they? You see how the whole thing, you know, you're only allowed to protest certain things because it ain't got nothing to do with the virus, bro. The virus is fake anyway. You know, ain't got nothing to do with that. But, you know, that's the thing. I mean, I was thinking like, if I go over there to the lockdown protest, are you guys interested in this content, by the way? You know, are you guys interested in me going over? I don't even know if I can do it because I don't have a camera like set up like that. I mean, you know, and this stuff is unreliable, so I don't know. But if I do go over there, I might as well do some recording. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of anti-lockdown protests, and try to attend your local anti-lockdown protest. You know, try to attend it, because at the end of the day, especially if you want to remain in the West, man, but this is really a world thing. I mean, you know, the whole world needs to wake up and call this lockdown out for what it is, man. It's a scam, it's a lie. It needs to destroy the economy as well, to bring in universal basic income. You know, because they're going to need something to bring it in. You can't just bring it in for nothing. There has to be a reason why. And they want to bring it in to destroy, so they can want to destroy the economy, bring in UBI, and also cashless society. Okay? So these are the things that I'm against, you know. I'm against these things. So, you know, if I can, I'll get to the anti-lockdown protest. You know, but yeah, man, I think it's important. I think it's important that we do address these issues, because at the end of the day, it's about freedom, man. You know, we want freedom in the world, man. This world was really free, and we didn't really recognize how free it was. But now we're starting to see. But another thing about Asia, a lot of countries didn't have lockdowns in Asia, and if they had lockdowns, they weren't really serious lockdowns. You know, I think Cambodia had no lockdown. You know, I think Cambodia had no lockdown at all. I think Thailand had some little bit, and Vietnam, I think, had a little bit now and then. But it doesn't feel like, you know, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of Asia. I mean, ultimately every country they're gonna try it, but it feels like they're pushing this, in Asia and Latin America the most. That's why I don't advise to go to Latin America. Latin America is like the West 2.0, man. They're behind, but they're still doing a lot of the stuff. Asia's like way behind, man. I mean, a lot of people in Asia don't even have bank accounts, and same thing with Africa. So they cannot really push. I mean, well, they are going to push actually the cashless society, and a lot of people are going to die. That's a sad thing, but you say the economy's in a very bad shape now. Yeah, and this is only the beginning. I'm going to come together in one, I'm going to have to do all the editing. Unfortunately, it's not going to come together in one nice little video package. It's going to be kind of disjointed. I'm going to try to edit it the way I can, but this is bullshit what YouTube is doing. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I don't know why it's cutting off, but it seems to cut off sometimes. But I don't really know why, and I can't find out the reason why that's happening. But I just want to finish this video off. So yeah, it's difficult to even get back to what I was saying. But I finished talking about the anti-lockdown protests. So yeah, I mean, just heading back into it, like Asia is a more, it's more backwards. I mean, it's more in the sense that a lot of the stuff that's happening here is not really going to happen for a while. So you got more time to really enjoy your freedom. And I feel like ultimately you just have to make the decision that you feel is going to benefit you. Don't think about anybody else. It's time to be selfish, man. I've said this before. It's about time you get selfish, because at the end of the day, nobody's really out there to benefit you, man. You can talk about friends and family, but friends and family ain't trying to help me out being poor. I mean, you got to think about it. My main problem is being poor, and that's always been my main problem. That's always been my main problem, being poor. But who's trying to help me getting out of being poor? Nobody. You got to help yourself out, man. But that's the thing. I mean, the easiest way to come out of being poor is to just expatriate. You're poor here, but when you expatriate, you're rich. Because like I said, they earn like 5, 6, 7 times less than the average Western person. So because of that, you go over there, automatically you're 5, 6, 7 times richer, or even more, depending on the place that you go to. So that's the ultimate way, the easiest way, sorry, not the ultimate way, but the easiest way to come out of being poor. Now you might say, well, you're still poor on a level, you're poor on a level like compared to a Western salary. Well, yes, you are, but you can also make money out there. A lot of people go out there, and they start businesses out there. They make a lot of money. There's opportunity. There's opportunity in the third world. Let's not forget about that. Because it's backwards, there's a lot of opportunity there. So you got to really think about this stuff. I mean, all I'm trying to do is help people. I'm not telling people what to do, because ultimately it's your life. You're going to make the decisions. But what I'm trying to do is give you the information that you need, or at least redirect you to the information that you need in order to actually, put you in the best position to make those decisions. Because these decisions that you make are going to shape your life. They're going to shape your life, and they're going to decide whether you take a lot of regrets to the grave, or you die somebody who's lived a fulfilled life. And I know that, I want to be the latter, I want to die somebody who's lived a fulfilled life. That's the thing. So at the end of the day, it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. Like I said before, man, this is a competitive society. It's a hard society. It's tough. You wanna stay here. You got to be willing to, suffer. You got to be willing to live on the bare bones. You got to be willing to really fight and hustle your way to the top. But there is great reward. There is a greater reward living in the West. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that there's not a greater reward living in the West. But even so, why not go over, because I may come back. I may go over to Asia and come back, but I'm going to come back a wealthier man you know, because of the fact that I can still make money out there. That's why having an online business is such a fantastic luxury, and I'm so, you know, it goes back to the video I made, why today's society is the best society in modern history, because today's society allows you to do things like that. In the old societies, you were stuck and you were finished. There was no really any way to move up, because you had to be like a really fantastic entrepreneur. Nowadays, you can be an average entrepreneur and become a millionaire. You can suck and become a millionaire. You know, back then it wasn't like that. It was tough. But yeah, the opportunities today are great. You know, you want to leave the West, I recommend Asia. Don't take my word for it. Go to someone who's traveled more. But yeah, man, that's what I got to say. It's on the Real Man here, the truth and manosphere. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you are informed every time I upload a new video.